Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. You need a roof, you call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Bocock Brothers Premium Scars. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 or 15% off your order. Okay, everybody, good morning. Hope your Sunday's off to a great start. Hope you had a great Saturday, week 0 of college football. Great to watch a little college football. As mentioned yesterday, I was in Pineville yesterday for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame vote. Good day with a lot of colleagues from all over the state. And we did elect a new class for the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame for 2026. It was really cool to be a part of that process again. What, buddy? Okay. Drew's awake. Ha, ha. Go this way. Drew's awake. So week 0 of college football was yesterday. So anyway, while I was at the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame vote, I had the Kansas State-Iowa State game while I was driving. And then while we're there watching the rest of it. So I got to watch a little bit of college football yesterday. Obviously drove to Pineville, had the Hall of Fame vote, left at 5 from Pineville, drove straight to Tiger Stadium, went to the scrimmage last night. Would highly recommend you check out Locked on LSU today. In fact, it was not a scrimmage as we thought. This was a light practice and a dress rehearsal for Clemson, where they went through darn near any game scenario you could imagine. They prepped it, they mocked it. Daddy go to church, and then we go to the mall. Okay. Go check out Locked on LSU today. You'll get the point. Nussmeier did not throw a pass. I did check with several people last night. They insist he is fine. That's just load management. Okay. Brian Kelly told us that last Friday, and the next day on Saturday, he was a full participant in the scrimmage last Saturday. So, we did not have a chance for interviews after the scrimmage, so we didn't have any availability with players or coaches. So the next time we'll talk to Kelly will be Monday at his Monday game week presser. So at noon. So we'll no doubt ask him about Nuss not throwing. He'll probably say the same thing, load management. Go this way. The backup quarterbacks really struggled. I would go so far as to say they were bad. The one really explosive play was Michael Van Buren threw a 65-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Thomas, where he got behind Michael Turner. There was a beautiful catch in the flat by Harlan Berry, where Whit Weeks tried to jump the route, and Berry just snatched it, turned toward the sideline, up the field, and scored. It was a beautiful play by Harlan Berry. Go this way. Did not see Don McKinley there. Braylon Moore did not participate. Braylon Moore had helmet shoulder pads, and he was running and snapping, and he just wasn't in the practice. So Chester was the first team center, and Mabenga was left guard. Carius Kern was on the exercise bike, not dressed. So we'll see if we get an update on him, if he'll be ready. But that would certainly seem to solidify Weston Davis as the right tackle. Few other tidbits. Xavier Thomas is going to be your punt returner. Barry and Brown is going to be your kick returner. Shouldn't be any surprise there. But about a 90-minute workout in Tiger Stadium, and just for example, so they would go through sequencing. They took a safety. So offense backed up at the 3. They get stalled. They have to punt out the back of the end zone. They voluntarily take a safety. Well, they take a safety, so now they have to do a free kick from the 20-yard line. So they do a free kick from the 20. It was Aaron Burrell who kicked it. A lot of times you punt on a free kick. They chose Aaron Burrell to kick off. Kicked it out of bounds, incidentally. So then the D went against the Scouto at the 30. Clemson, they even had orange jerseys. Clemson lined up for a field goal, and then Clemson faked the field goal, right? And try to get LSU's defense to jump off sides. Just all those types of things. They mocked every sequence that you could imagine in a game. A late game score, then having to squib kick it with time running out, attempting an onside kick, recovering an onside kick, all of it. They had a dress rehearsal for any sequence in the game that you can imagine. Like one point, the offense is at like their own 20, and Nuss just kind of like rolls the ball. It looked like he was bowling it. Well, they were simulating a fumble. Gary Vaynerchuk, they were simulating a fumble, like a quick change. And the defense had to run out there real quick after a fumble. So it was interesting to see just the attention to detail. So anyway, LSU other final practice of fall camp. Saints lose to the Broncos. I did not get to. I'm going to catch up on the Saints game today. I did candidly. I read all the game reviews and everything. I did not get to watch it while I was at the Hall of Fame vote. So I'll catch up on the Saints today. All accounts, it seems as though the quarterback battle is just nothing really decided. Would have liked to have maybe seen a bit more from the first offense, although you didn't really see much of those guys out there. So anyway, all right, y'all know the drill. Fire away, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Devin, good morning. Jack Piper, an NIL deal, 1.2 to 1.5 million. Is that he did not get a 1.2 to 1.5 million dollar deal? That is not accurate. I can tell you with 100% certainty that is not accurate information. He did not get $1.2 million. Kelly Gross, good morning. Thomas Piat, good morning. Jesse, Thomas, did I say your name right? Tell me if I said your name right. That sounded like it came out of my mouth funny. Austin Kidder, good morning. Rojo Fish, good morning. Jingle Gate Day 109 haters, take that. Gray, good morning. How would you rank our top 5 opponents this year? Well, you've left A&M off of there. Ole Miss off of there, and I think going 2 Ole Miss is tough, and 2 Oklahoma. I would put at Ole Miss at Oklahoma ahead of Florida, South Carolina as far as difficulty. I think Clemson's your toughest game. At Clemson, then probably at Bama, at Oklahoma, at Ole Miss, home against A&M. Probably what I would do. Ethan, morning, Matt. Who be doing whiskey and wine after Clemson? I don't know. Jesse Post, what a start for Nicholls State football. Great win for Nicholls. Shout out to Gabe Fertitta, former Calic High head coach. Went to Louisville on staff, then went to Florida State on staff. Now is the OC at Nicholls. Great to see them get a win. How about Trey Holly? Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, no. Sorry, y'all. 1 second.
Good sweet. That'll say it.
Go this way. Shucks. Guys, I'm sorry. I may need to go for a second. God dog it. Did I really just do that? God dog it.
What is that? What is that? What's he doing?
I can't believe I just did that. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry, y'all. I'm not going to go anywhere. Just give me a second. We got a story for LouisianaSports.net that Ross Jackson wrote that we published twice. He had already published it. Then I came back. I grabbed the wrong one. I published the same story a second time. Then I went to go delete it. I accidentally deleted both of them. So give me 1 second. Let me get this thing published again. I can't believe I just did that. This is going to take me just a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me 1 second to do this. I know where my edits are. Through camp net.
That'll say it. Good sweet.
Good this way. Can't believe I just did that, y'all. I'm sorry. Sorry to waste your time on your Sunday. If you're hanging out, if you're still hanging, thank you very much. I appreciate it greatly. Erica. I'm almost done, y'all. My apologies. Can't believe I did that. Stupid.
That'll say it.
Erica. Okay, my apologies, y'all.
My apologies, Erica.
My apologies, Erica. God's Green, good morning. Tom, good morning. Was at the scrimmage last night, ready for football. Yeah, it wasn't as Tom saw, it wasn't a scrimmage. It was a dress rehearsal. It was a practice with a dress rehearsal to follow. Let me see. Let's see if you're ready. Yeah, we're ready.
Backpack off.
Backpack off. Hang on. And
Then
there. And you're free. You go. Off you go. Okay. All right. Brad, good morning. Is it still a rivalry if you play every other year? Everyone makes such a big deal about rivalries. Yeah, I think it's still a rivalry. I think we all look at it through a different prism because LSU doesn't have one. Seth, good morning. Great to see Trey Holly bust a big run. That was really cool to see. 80 yards. It was awesome. Yeah. Merrick, good morning. Going to be hard to spend 3 hours on a Sunday watching the Saints. That's true, Merrick. In fairness, don't know. You haven't seen 4 quarters of the starters of what Sunday Saints are going to look like. You're seeing a lot of guys trying to make the team. So, TBD. Club, good morning. Great. Do you think part of us potentially losing Elijah Haven is early playing time? We most likely look for a starting quarterback in the portal. He starts at Florida year 1. No, he's not going to start at Florida year 1 because DJ Lagway is still going to be there. So, well, no, I guess Haven would be a 27 player, right? Yeah, so Haven would be 27. So Lagway, if he was in the NFL after year 3. I don't think he's looking at it that far ahead because who knows what would happen at LSU. Like, my assumption is LSU is going to go in the portal and look for a starter next year. The 2 guys you got right now, neither looks anywhere close to ready to being able to compete at a high level. So I think you've got to, like, December, you're going in the portal looking for Jaden Daniels. And I don't mean a Heisman. I mean someone who's been a starter at the Power 4 level before. Bobby Boucher's lawnmower. Haven't heard a lot about either Anderson out of camp. How have they looked? Well, Aaron Anderson at the beginning of camp, early had a minor injury with his knee, just a little tweak. And so he missed the first couple, week or so. But he looks great. And then Nick Anderson did not participate yesterday. Again, we did not have media availability afterwards, so don't know why he was out. But Texas lost their starting left tackle due to an ACL injury. That sucks. I mean, I hate to see that for anybody. I'm looking for it. I don't see that. Let's see. Let me see. Andre Kojo. But that's not. That was at the beginning. Is that who you're talking about? Because that was at the beginning of the month. That was at the beginning of fall camp when that happened. Unless it was somebody else. Brett, love your content. Out of curiosity, want an AFR. Do you pretend you're talking to Musa, the camera, imaginary person? It's difficult to just talk, and you're really good. So I just look at a monitor in studio. Like the camera that I'm on. There's a monitor below it so I can see the shot, so I can try to frame myself. So I'll just look at that shot. Hey, Leon, first team Saints defense looked good. It was weird seeing so many Saints coaches and players in blue and orange. Those we have fallen, but hopefully more can start as a tradition. I think the further this thing progresses, the more we realize that Sean Payton was really the brains behind all the success, and Mickey Loomis is doing his best to unravel all of it. Is Harlan Berry RB2? No, I think they're all just rotating really fluidly. Caden Durham will be 1. Yesterday, when we saw the 1s go out there, Caleb Jackson and Harlan Berry ran with the 1s, and then Caden Durham went with the 2s. Again, don't read anything into that whatsoever. Like, Caden Durham is your starter. I just think they're all going to play. And don't forget about Juwan Johnson, because he is going to play. Like, I'm telling you, it's not just a fun thing that they moved him there for depth. Like, Juwan Johnson is going to get carries. He's going to touch the ball against Clemson next Saturday. Like, I guarantee you. Back-to-back years, we could have 2 true freshman running backs. Yeah, Harlan Berry is not the starter. He's not the starter. But he is going to play. I think all 4 of those guys are going to play. Thomas, Stone Musso, Robert, good morning. Do you find it weird how little Nuss is throwing right now? Wouldn't you want the most game action scenario to have him thrown? Here's my thought on it. Like, was I wanting to go in there and see him sling it around? Yes. Kelly told us last Friday, so not 2 days ago, 9 days ago. When Nuss didn't throw it at the practice we were at, he said it's basically like a pitch count. They chart the number of throws, and when he hits a certain number, they scale it back. It's all just about load management. Said the same thing about Witt not practicing 5 days in a row. It's all load management. So, I have, and that situation last Friday, Nuss the next day was practicing full on in the scrimmage. So it's like, okay, he was right. He wasn't lying. We didn't get a chance to talk to him yesterday. I'm sure he would say the same thing. But like Nuss was bouncing around, running, doing everything. I mean, he even kept his own read keep, like not limited in any way. I think that they've done a really good job with all of the, like the training staff has done a really good job with all of the charting and analytics and everything. They wear these heart monitors where they gauge like how much they're working, how much weight they've lost, how much, they're breathing, like everything. They did the whole acclimatization period. Their soft tissue injuries, aside from Jakeem Jackson tweaking his hamstring, I think that was the only soft tissue injury they had. So it's hard to argue against it. Like they seem to have a plan that they're executing, and they're coming out of camp pretty healthy. So, and I did follow up last night with a couple of people after practice to ask about, like, hey, is there anything there? And I was told unequivocally, nothing wrong whatsoever. He's totally fine. Like, okay. Hey, Glenn, good morning. Gum Smack and Mick is holding the team back. I agree. Brad, why was Terrio complaining about college football being played on Thursday and Friday week 1? I love how it's on multiple days. I agree. Jerry, will the Tigers be ready for Clemson Saturday? What do you think? I do. I also think that there are things that until you go play in a game, you just can't simulate. You can't simulate 80,000 people cheering against you. You can't simulate the speed of a regular season game until you play in one. So I'm excited to stop watching practice and stop talking about it and actually get to see him go play a game. It'll be fun. Really looking forward to it. Our post shit. Thank you, man. Hey, Tracy, good morning. Nervous for Saturday. So it makes it great. Let's see. Can someone explain to me why all the trades have happened recently? The Vele trade was the most expensive. Because Mickey Loomis. Hey, Robert. Going to turn on sports media for the next week. Won't hear one person giving LSU an opportunity. Hopefully it's 10-point upset. I don't know that you're not going to hear anybody give LSU an opportunity or a chance. I know Hunt did his game-by-game season preview. He picked LSU to beat Clemson. I think what I've settled on for the season is 10-2. I think they lose to Clemson. I hate to say it, but that's just I've said it before. If that was neutral or at home, I'd probably pick LSU. If it was in week 3, I'd probably pick LSU. With so many new pieces in a true road game week 1 against the team returning the most experience in college football, I just think that's a really tough ask. I think I think LSU, they win on Saturday. The defense is going to carry the day. Like, I think it'll be one of those things where you win a 20-17 type game where it's close, your defense just plays awesome, and your offense puts together a game-winning drive and makes a play late. I think that's the type of game. Now, I would love to see LSU's offense go out there and just torch Clemson for 40. I would love to see a 38-17 win. I mean, that would be incredible. And I think they have that bullet in the chamber. I just don't know if we see it week 1. Emmett Bean, good morning from Maryland. Our Poche, yeah. Trivia, good morning. Sean, good morning. Reevaluated my Saints pick. Maybe a 2-15 season. Yeah, no shot. Make defense great again. Can you at least give us, when you will announce whiskey and wine, just give us a nugget, we beg you. How about if I do it tomorrow? Or maybe next Friday. Damon, when do you think JT Lindsay's situation will get resolved? I really don't know. I'm not going to guess on a legal situation, man. Merrick, I've been out of pocket the last 2 weeks. No more whiskey and wine. No, didn't say that. Our Poche, what's going on? Chance, a week from today, will be waking up happy or really mad. I know. Matt, according to YouTube, I've become a top fan. My wife said the other day, the fact that I recognize his voice in the SC documentary means you listen to it too much. Well, I haven't finished watching that either. I watched like the first 2 episodes. I need to go watch the rest of it. What are you doing? Are you so tired? You want to come say hi to Dad show? And your dino jammies? Come see. Come say hi to Dad show. Dino jammies, haha. Oh, yeah. Do you have dinosaurs on your jammies?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you say?
Hi.
Hi. Yeah? You say hi.
Hi.
Hey, what day is today? Oh.
Sunday. What? No.
Y'all hear that? That was his knee on the bottom of his desk. Oh my God. Like, I don't think he has pain receptors in certain parts of his body. Crazy. Seth, did you see Avery Johnson's dad and brother get into a fight? I did see that. That's Kansas State quarterback. Gwen, hello from the Matsu Valley. To you, Mrs. the E-Rock and Drew's block party. Heard the Musso and his Weed Bros song on the show Friday. Brilliant. Seriously, post that on YouTube. I can do that. So it's an AI song that I created. It's good. Sean, looked like you just lost all your XRP. Oh, that had to be. Oh, that was whenever I screwed up the website. Sorry. Sounds overall like defense has been the stronger unit. I think the thing that will be the most striking difference for everybody watching this team will be the defensive depth. I mean, just objectively, think of it this way. So last year, defensive tackle Jacobian Guillory was like far and away your best guy. It was kind of like your only guy. And after that, you had Paez, and you had a freshman in Ahmad Bro. And after Guillory got hurt, you kicked Paris Shand inside, and really your only defensive tackles were Shand, McKinley Bro, Paez. McKinley and Bro were freshmen. McKinley only played like half the season. Paez was an undersized zero tech, and then Shand was 270 pounds who kicked inside. Now, Guillory is like part of like a 5-man rotation where he might be the 5th best guy in that rotation. That's no disrespect to him. It's just you got depth. You have depth everywhere. That's going to be the biggest difference is the defensive depth. Sounds like, oh, sorry, did that one. Devin, what up? Matt just staring at the screen and apologizing. That was when I made a mistake on the website, Louisiana Sports Net. Anthony, good morning, Matt. Think we'll lose by 10 to club. Shocker, Anthony. I tell you, of all the things that I was expecting to read when I popped up, you picking LSU to lose by 10 to Clemson, on brand. Appreciate the thought. Jake Knight, Matt, can you comment on Paul Skeens' contract? Arguably the best pitcher, has best projectability. His market value has to be $20, $40 million a year. He's getting paid peanuts. Is it fair? Yeah, that's fair. Because that's why he signed contracts. And he's under team control through 2029 in Pittsburgh. They paid him what, $11 million before he ever threw a pitch?
Gordy.
What?
Gordy jump.
Gordy jump? Gordy rush?
Yes. One.
Is that what you want?
No, G.
Talent.
G.
What up, G? Robert Mason, Tony Mason, Caleb, morning, Scone. If the Saints draft top 5 next year, drafting Shuck at 40, stop Mickey from taking Archer and us. No, I think if they're drafting top 5 and the right quarterback's there, they absolutely take them. 6 days out to a mindset of endless possibilities, the possibility of a new coach, $20 million demands it. I mean, y'all know I've been telling you all about the money they spent for months. Y'all know my point about this team has been they went and dumped piles of cash. And Brian Kelly confirmed it at his coach's show on Thursday. Now you get it. Blake Hodges, think Devin Neal makes the team. Who do you think starts quarterback week 1? Probably, I mean, considering Rattler started the game yesterday with the starters out there, they probably start Rattler game 1. But I do think we get to a point where Shuck will start this year. Hey, Brandy. Good morning. East Texas Tigers here. What are your thoughts on the 9-game SEC schedule next season? Who do you think our 3 opponents will be? I'm excited about 9. I think it should have happened a long time ago. I hate 3 permanent opponents. I don't think there should be permanent opponents. I think it's stupid. I think LSU's will be Alabama, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss. Bubba Smith, good morning. Malik, game feels a lot like when LSU brought back most of the same roster and Florida State added key transfers, only this time it flipped. Clemson has continuity. LSU is the one reloading. Remember, that's true. The 2023 game, for sure. But LSU had massive turnover on defense that year, and that was a neutral site. But yes, that's not an incorrect thought, which is why if this game was at a neutral site or in Baton Rouge, I would love to pick LSU to win it. But being that this is a true road game makes it a real challenge to try to go on the road and win that game. Robbie, morning, Matt. I read the MLB could have realignment in the future. Your thoughts? Yeah. So that, I mean, they're obviously, they're obviously going to expand as well. We know that the A's are going to end up in Las Vegas. I think Nashville maybe is in line to get a team. What? And I don't mind the realignment. I know what they're talking about is geography to cut down on travel for the players. Like, could you imagine Yankees, Red Sox, Phillies, Mets, all in the same division? Like, that's kind of what they're talking about. So you just cut down on travel if you did things more geographically centric. I think old heads would hate it. Traditionalists would hate it. I don't really care. Old heads hated interleague play. That hasn't ruined baseball. You're always going to have an imbalance in power. There's going to be divisions that are really good, divisions that are really bad, teams that are really good, teams that are really bad, teams that invest, teams that don't. So however you make a schedule, 162 is a large enough sample size to get what you need out of it, however you structure the divisions. Pam is burning. Brandon Petrie. Robbie, good morning. Matt, I heard cities like Portland, Nashville, Orlando. Yeah, there you go. New Orleans will never get an MLB team. for a lot of different reasons. New Orleans can't support another pro sports franchise. We just don't have the corporate entities to be able to do it in Louisiana. I've told you this before, but there are 2 Fortune 500 companies in Louisiana, Lumen Technologies and Entergy. Dallas has over 20, just in Dallas-Fort Worth. The state of Louisiana has 2. Dallas-Fort Worth has over 20. And that doesn't include companies that have a significant presence like 7-Eleven, Acme, Alcon, ADI, At Home, Belt. There's a million. It's just like, oh my God. There just isn't the corporate support to be able to pay for sponsorships and tickets and suites and premium and all that stuff for Saints and Pelicans and an MLB team. Plus, you're not building an outdoor stadium in Louisiana when you're going to play throughout the summer. So you'd have to build a dome stadium, which would be billions of dollars. And the people of Louisiana are not going to incentivize that or subsidize that, I should say. So, no, Louisiana is never getting a baseball team. Green Z, the 3 automatic opponents has me trying to convince people that the battle for the boot is a real rivalry. Randall, morning, Matt. Do you know what Kelly's record is against Clemson? I think he's 1-2. I might be thinking about the games at Clemson. I looked at this not long ago. They played, let's see. This was, so Clemson won in 2015, 24-22. That was the game at Clemson, close game. Clemson won the playoff. No, not yet. Sorry. Clemson won the playoff game 30-13. Notre Dame won the game in the COVID year in 2020 in South Bend. And then that same year, they played in the ACC championship game because Notre Dame was eligible for ACC championship and Clemson won. So Kelly was 1-3 against Clemson during his time there. But he only played one game at Clemson. It was 24-22. And then the one game they played at Notre Dame, Notre Dame won 47-40. Then they played neutral site in the playoff in the Cotton Bowl and neutral site in Charlotte in the ACC championship game. Hey, Jay, heading to Clemson Friday. Okay. Jake, why do they schedule top 10 matchups week 1? Because it's great for fans. And it's great theater. And we want to see good games. And I'm very much in favor of it. And the way that you incentivize teams to do that is you reward them for playing those games. You don't punish them. So if LSU, if LSU goes 9-3 with a loss to Clemson, but they're 6-2 in the SEC, should a 9-3 LSU be out of the playoff in favor of 11-1 Indiana last year because they went 11-1 but didn't play a single ranked team? That's where you have the hang up, right? That's where you look and say, I'm not incentivized to play this game. Actually, Zachary, there, the piece that I was doing at LouisianaSports.net is Ross Jackson did a Rattler Shuck stats for preseason, and not just the 3 preseason games. Here, I'll post it. It's including charting all the practices as well. All the practice reps. You can go check it out. It's right there. Jake Shuyel made 8 years ago. Foskey, Losky, Miskey, Busky, Bysky. Yes, that's true. DA Matt, you think you and Richard Dixon would be good on whiskey and wine? Well, Richard does the post game with Charles Handegriff. Jared Weems, good morning, Matt. Do you think our defense will be a lockdown defense or one that's going to maintain and eliminate big plays? I put out a bold prediction at LouisianaSports.net this week. They asked everybody on staff to put out a bold prediction. And I said for the first time since 2017, LSU will be a top 20 defense in the country. They have talent. They have depth. I believe they will be top 20 in the country in total defense this year. I think you're going to see a very similar path that Baker followed at Missouri, where he inherited a defense that was in the triple digits. They went to top 60, then they went top 30 and everything. I think it's going to be very similar. Damn, that hurt. Ryan, Matt, does Nuss come back if Underwood signed with LSU last December? Yeah. Devin, it's always smart not to believe everything you see on Instagram about Jackson. By the way, Devin, that thing that you mentioned as well, if you go look at that, that was not even a real post. Because I saw that. Someone sent that to me. It was like, it said like, they took the On3 logo and then flipped the O in the end. So it was like NO3 to make it look like On3. It wasn't even a real post. Like that was it wasn't real. All right, I answered that one. Hope Colton Nussmeier is like Justin Jefferson, Zach Weeks. The youngest is the best, right? To be determined about Zach Weeks. Like, let's not get crazy. They say at this point, right? He would normally be like, he should be entering his senior year of high school. At this point, he was better than the other two. But Witt is a potential All-American. So let's pump the brakes there. But your point is noted. Matt, what do you think about LSU bringing back color theme games and LED wristbands? You mean like the gold game? I think the gold game is stupid. The color wristbands, like if they're going to turn off the lights and make the whole stadium glow, that's cool. I'm on that. Joe, interested in your projection on what you expect the Saints quarterback situation long term. Thank you, Joe. I think that the franchise quarterback is not on the roster. I think they're going to be really bad this year, drafting probably top 5 again next year. And I think if the right quarterback is there, they will take the right quarterback top 5 next year. Devin, Anthony going hard in the paint. See. Even if the O-line struggles, think we find a way to win. Dustin, hey, Matt. Less than a week away until I take my smoking hot girlfriend and her great kids to the Clemson game. Can Laura get a shout out? Go Tigers. Well, shout out to Laura, who I would assume is your smoking hot girlfriend. What? Erica. Shout out to Laura and for being an awesome girlfriend that's going to the Clemson game. Hope you all have a great Sunday and a great time at the game. Hey, Mac, LSU spent a good bit on the Van Buren contract, so if they realize he's not the guy, need to get his money off the budget, can they just cut ties? Not sure how that works. Well, yeah, I mean, remember, you go year by year in those types of things. So, yes. And I don't know what's going to happen. It's not to say Van Buren can't improve. Remember, he's just in his second year in school. Like, Garrett Nussmeier in 2021 wasn't great. I mean, he played that entire Arkansas game in Tiger Stadium, and LSU lost in overtime. They scored like 13 points in an overtime game. It was brutal. Garrett Nussmeier now is the best quarterback in football. So it's not to say that guys can't improve. I'm just saying today, if Garrett, for whatever reason, has to come out of the game, you're in trouble. If it's Bama, Ole Miss, A&M, what do you think our last game of the season will be? I want an OU game to work out. Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of that changes naturally. Hey, Devin, went to the Live Oak scrimmage on Thursday. They have some D1 talent, 2 really good wide receivers, decent running back, a giant OT. You think they can make a run of the playoffs? I don't know anything about those high school teams, man. Sorry, I just can't give you anything there. Ashton, who determines SC scheduling? The league office. Huh? So the league office already has schedule models done. It was just a matter of adopting which one they were going to do. So the league will determine the 3 permanent opponents. They'll certainly take the input of the teams. There's things that you know are certainties, right? Like Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Texas, Texas A&M, Texas, Oklahoma, Auburn, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee. Like all those games are happening. Vanderbilt, Tennessee. So you just start there. Florida, Georgia. All those games are happening. So you start filling out the schedule grid starting with those, and then you fill it in accordingly after that. I did a video on my YouTube channel this week about Bama because I think Bama is, and this isn't a Bama's burning thing. This, like, Bama is the biggest conundrum because Bama is going to play Auburn. The Bama-Tennessee game, they try to protect that at all costs for decades. And then there's Bama-LSU, which has been the most valuable TV property the SEC's had in the last 20 years. So all three of those games in theory should happen, but are you really going to saddle Alabama with Auburn, Tennessee, LSU? That would be the toughest schedule. That would be the toughest draw in the league. I know Nick Saban was kicking and screaming about that a couple of years ago when that was floated. He ain't there anymore, so we'll see what they do. Bronco Nation, good morning. Make defense great again. If it's Bama, A&M, Ole Miss, will LSU have the most difficult schedule? Not if Bama has Auburn, Tennessee, LSU. Greensy, Alabama, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss would be a brutal draw. Understand the 20-year average, but all three are top 25 this year. Brutal. I agree. And that's where you look and you go, that's why I don't need Lane Kiffin making Ole Miss relevant. That's why I need Texas A&M being Texas 8-4. Brian, good morning. Any ideas on a new postgame show since we know Whiskey and Wine? Who said that? Bubba, Orlando is like Miami as far as sports go. It's fairly agnostic as a city. Too many imports that all bring their teams with them, like me. Not a lot of locals build a fan base from. That's, I mean, I guess, well, they don't have pro sport. Well, I get the Magic, but Devin, doesn't matter what his record is against Clemson and Notre Dame. It's brand new bag, baby. Matt, does LSU have more depth than Clemson behind the starters? If so, there could be a difference late in the game. I think you'd have to go position by position. I think there are spots, for example, like Clemson returns 4 starters on the offensive line. LSU is turning over its line entirely. Clemson's losing Phil Maffa, their number 1 running back from last year, and they're actually converting a receiver to running back. LSU has 4 really good running backs. I think both teams are insanely deep at receiver. Clemson returns its top 3 receivers from a season ago. LSU has freak shows all over the field. Both teams obviously return their starting quarterback. Defensively, Clemson returns the bulk of its starters from last year, but that was a defense that allowed nearly 5 yards a carry. Gave up 34 to Georgia, lost at home to South Carolina, lost at home to Louisville. Anyway. Let's see. Did they get rid of Foskey? Not yet. Oh, you know what? Thomas. We almost ran out of time, Thomas.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing. Take that, Dale. ParishBuilt.com. Sorry, y'all. I am going a little quickly because I got to go get ready for church and get about the day and all that stuff. Matt, praying right about the defense. My sanity this fall depends on it. Devin, they're going to be so much better. They just, I mean, like, look at safety, for example. Like, this is a good example. Last year, last year at safety, you had Sage Ryan, Jordan Gilbert, and then Major Burns at star. Jordan Gilbert, God bless him, was playing with a dislocated shoulder, like basically playing with one arm last year. he's not even in the too deep at safety right now. Like, he's backing up Perkins at star. Your safeties are Halsey, Cooley, and then Toviano and Spears. I mean, the guy that was starting for you a year ago is basically out there in some nickel packages and is backing up Perkins at star. You're just so much better and so much deeper. It just, PJ Woodland was probably your third corner last year as a 160-pound true freshman. This year, after Delane and Stamps, your third corner is probably DJ Pickett, a 5-star freshman who looks like a tarantula. Are you concerned Auburn is going to claim? Well done. Volcano, Brian Kelly fired if he misses the playoff. No, they're not going to buy him out. They'd owe him $50 million. They're not buying him out. Hey, Dad. Good morning. FPI is LSU 12, Clemson at 16. Interesting. Really? I thought FPI had Clemson way higher. That's interesting. I need to check that out. That's really interesting. I didn't see that. I thought they had Clemson way higher. Is LSU pursuing Colton Nussmeier more than Elijah Haven? I don't think more than. I think you've just got to recruit all of them, and you have 2 years to figure out how it's gonna land. Morning, Matt. This conversation makes me feel like LSU still thinks we're in the BCS era, where you need a strong schedule with a resume, whereas now it doesn't seem like ballroom suits don't care. It will be interesting this year, Ryan, with the introduction of the strength of schedule metric into the committee's consideration. However, that's just another data point to consider. And what's to say they haven't been considering that before? They're still going to do whatever they want to do. Brad, heard Dixon Friday say wants Florida rivalry to stay. Both Hesters and Flynn said that. Yeah, it's because when those guys played, that was the biggest game. Like, that means a lot to them. And that's fine. I totally respect that. But again, that's their experience from when they played, when that was the biggest game. It's not anymore. For some people, it's the one that matters the most, but it's not the biggest game of the year. When we start talking about this year's schedule, we're talking a ton about Clemson. We're talking about LSU going to Bama, Oklahoma at the end of the season. A&M beat LSU last year, so that game in Baton Rouge. It's just down the list. Before you get to Florida, it's just not the one that everybody circles anymore. But it's not to say it couldn't be again. I'm sure it's all cyclical. Like, Auburn's not any good anymore. They're a 5-7 football team last year, but I love the Auburn game. That's my favorite game. Yeah, that's the thing about LSU. Like, everybody has their own. It's usually generational. Matt, I think it was a huge mistake to not pick up a decent veteran quarterback, even Jameis, to give him time to develop. I agree. I've been saying that for literally since the day Derek Carr retired. I'm preparing myself for an 8-4 season, losing all the recruits and having to rebuild after Kelly's let go. Hopefully not. I'm prepared. That's one way to go about it. The one silly thing about scheduling the best team in that conference for almost a decade now is that 85% of the time they're the same team you could run into in the playoffs. True. Alabama, Ole Miss, Arkansas. I don't see it. I would love that. I don't see it that way. Still looking forward to first. Bama's burning. Over under. Under, because they're going to lose at Georgia. But I'm going to tell you straight up, if they lose, let them go lose. Let them go lose to Florida State on Saturday. Oh, let them go lose to Florida State on Saturday. Let that happen. Go this way. All right, I got to get going. Y'all got 2 minutes. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Matt, what do you host? Yes, it's going to be great having much better games. It is, absolutely. What we need, Roger, is uniformity, where everybody plays that schedule. And so then you don't have to worry about scheduling a really good game. You schedule a really good game because the fans want it. It's going to be great for TV. It's going to test your team. You're going to find out about yourself. It's going to be better for everything. And you're not going to be punished for scheduling that game. That's the problem. The problem isn't scheduling the game. The problem is you have a committee that doesn't reward you for scheduling the game. And that's a college football problem. But yes, give me LSU Clemson over LSU SC Upstate. Go this way. If Saban was there, no chance to get that draw. Now that Caitlin DeBose is there, they could get that draw. Caitlin DeBose. Yeah. Clemson did almost lose to Pitt. Whiskey and wine would be great with Russ Mitchell. Russ lives in Arizona. That makes it really difficult. Do you think Mickey Loomis chews the same type of gum after every law? I gotta go. Gotta go. All right, y'all. Hey, 251 in the building. Thanks for You got it, Tony. Thanks for being there. Okay, I gotta go. Go this way. Y'all have a great day. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. If you missed Locked on LSU, I recorded it late last night after I got home from the scrimmage. So please go listen or watch. I would appreciate it greatly. And y'all have an awesome day. Sponsors linked in the description on YouTube, tagged on Facebook. Have an awesome day.